May not be a lot of video today because I'm going to try to outrun this storm that's coming in this afternoon. It would be nice to be hunkered down before it hits, but this was too good to miss. Anyway, might not be much video today, we'll see. Kind of a cool view of the Bald up across the valley over there. I have a sneaking suspicion I'll be climbing up there before it's all said and done. But there's a deep valley between here and there. And then that ridge line goes up. And there's that Bald. So, might be headed there, don't know. So as I had suspected, I was over on that other ridge across the way. Trail turned and it's heading up to the Bald that I was looking at. I'm sheltered here for a second in the lee of a big rock. I'm gonna take video from up top, but I'm sure it's gonna be very windy. There's wind warnings up today. So you may want to turn your speakers down now because I know how annoying that sound is on the video. But the next segment will probably be very noisy. So it's noon. In my quest to beat the storm, I've done 15 miles already, which is awesome, including some pretty decent uphill. So it's 6 miles to the shelter. I'll probably do that. I know I can do that in about 3 hours. Maybe I can do it a little quicker. And they say the storms are going to hit sometime after 2. So it's going to be close, but you know, worst case, get a little wet and hear some thunder. I'll be off the ridge line and I think pretty safe. So kind of cool to do that much mileage that fast. Started an hour before sunrise and I've just been pushing. I don't want to do that every day, but it was good today. One other thing I wanted to mention, I had been looking for water and there was what they call an unreliable water source a few miles back, which means, you know, they're not sure if it's going to be running. This time of year, it seems like everything has been, so I've just been assuming they'll all be running. Well, that one wasn't, and so I went to the next one, and it was another unreliable one, and it wasn't running. I went, there's a little pool of water, barely any movement, and stagnant water is not real appealing. And I was thinking, oh no, and I looked in, and it was full of garbage and leaves. I thought, I am in trouble. Not real trouble, but you know, I'm gonna be thirsty this afternoon. And I looked more carefully, and the garbage was actually cans, and the cans were actually cans of Mountain Dew, and they were actually full and cold because of the water. There were 4 of them. So I took 2, which is a pretty awesome Trail Magic score because I got sugar and I got caffeine and I got hydration right when I needed it, and that is good Trail Magic. So I'm doing the last 3-mile descent down to the shelter, and I'm off the last peak, which is good. It's I think it's about 2:15, and if the weather does hit, I won't be exposed because I'll be down off the peaks and the ridge lines, which is great. That's what I wanted. If I do get wet now, I get wet, but no real exposure to a lightning storm or anything, so it's good. I somehow have developed hot spots on both of my feet, which is strange. I dressed them at lunch with some of that, I don't know what they call it. It's made by Band-Aid, I think, and it's semi-transparent, kind of skin-colored blister treatment. Lighter around the edges, darker in the middle, if that helps. That's what seems to work the best for me so far. I've only had a couple of blisters, but these ones feel like they could be much bigger. They're on my heels. And we'll see if this stuff stays on. The trick for me, even with moleskin, is it doesn't always stay in place. This stuff has seemed to so far, so fingers crossed it will today. Anyway, happily pushing all morning and early afternoon off the ridge lines, off the peaks, and now just the final push to the shelter with or without rain. So I said it was about 2:15. Actually, it's 1:30. So really booking today, which is feeling very good. I'm not sure I feel good. Yesterday I was not booking and I felt bad, but I don't think there's a correlation there. It's strange. It's just different days feel different. I expected this to be a really tough day given the pressure to get off the peaks, but it's felt really good so far. It's not over, but it's close. It's the end of day 28. I'm here in shelter. What's the name of the shelter?
No Business Knob.
The No Business Knob shelter in Tennessee. We know we're in Tennessee because the shelters here don't have privies, which is awkward, but that's the way it is. So I outpaced the thunder and lightning, which actually hasn't happened yet, if it's going to happen at all. But I did not outpace the rain. Only got a little wet. It's been pouring off and on since then. But, you know, we're comfortably dry and sitting in our shelter. SOS set up his hammock, and he's out there. God love him. Hopefully he's staying dry. But Stealth and I and Tom, who we just met, are hanging out in the shelter, and this will be where we are for tonight. So all in all, we did really well getting ahead of the weather, which was great. It's a little nerve-wracking this morning trying to, you know, think about whether I wanted to be up on a ridge line if the thunder hit, but no problems. Anyway, met an interesting guy on the trail today. He said his wife had recently left him, which was a shame, because he apparently has an obsession with pasta. So his wife left him because of that. And he said he's cannelloni right now.